हेलो एंड वेलकम बैक टू चेसिंग द टारगेट। आईपीएल खत्म हो गया मगर अपन अभी जिंदा है और मेरे साथ मेरे को होस्ट आ गए आज। कैसे हैं भाईजान?
वालेकुम भाई, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह सब मजे में भाई। कैसे?
सब ठीक ठाक। सॉरी बिजी थे आप?
नहीं, मैं था बस।
नहीं, बस वही बोल रहा था कि भाई सब लो फील कर रहे हैं आज बिकॉज आईपीएल खत्म हो गया। समझ में नहीं आ रहा लोगों को क्या करो। क्रिकेट नहीं है। आदत है भाई रोज 7:30 बजे या 7 बजे जो भी इंडियन टाइम से टीवी लगा लो और मैच देखो, मगर आज वो नहीं
राइट
था।
राइट।
तो मैं समझा लेट्स जस्ट टॉक अबाउट द सीजन। 2 महीने हो गए भाई मोक्स। मैं 2 महीने पहले आपके साथ था, याद है आपको, मैं जब लैंड हुआ था 2 मंथ।
हाँ भाई, याद है भाई।
कैसा, पहले ये बताओ कैसा लगा आपको फाइनल?
फाइनल्स जबरदस्त था यार। वो बहुत मैं एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था यार। मैं जीटी को सपोर्ट कर रहा था बिकॉज ऑफ गिल। ठीक है,
हाँ
गिल। बट उन लोगों का कंसिस्टेंसी बहुत जबरदस्त था, अच्छा खेल रहे थे हमेशा से। अब सीएसके का तो अब धोनी है तो ऑब्वियसली धोनी सपोर्टर ज्यादा है। मैं भी धोनी का फैन ही हूँ यार। शुरू से मैं धोनी को सपोर्ट करता था। बट जडेजा यार क्या खेला यार लास्ट 2 बॉल्स।
और मेन चीज तुम देखो मोक्स, 2 बज रहे थे नहीं आप लोगों के टाइम से वहां पे? 2 या 3 बज रहे थे लास्ट बॉल
हाँ,
पे।
राइट हाँ, 2-3
और
बज रहे थे।
देखे थे 80,000 100,000 लोग थे वहां पे। मतलब बारिश भी पड़ रही, सो पड़ रहा, मगर कोई छोड़ा नहीं ग्राउंड। 2 दिन, मतलब ऐसा 2 दिन वेट कर रहे थे रिजल्ट के लिए और फिर फाइनली आया। जस्ट शोज द
हाँ,
फैन फॉलोइंग। इंडिया का जो क्रिकेट का क्रेज है भाई खतरनाक। और धोनी भी परेशान हो गया, पहली बार देखा मेरे को ऐसा।
सही है।
मतलब
फर्स्ट टाइम ऐसा आईपीएल हिस्ट्री में हुआ उससे कि ऐसा मैच जिस दिन पोस्टपोन हो के दूसरे दिन, राइट?
100%। मोक्स तुम क्या दावत में है?
नहीं, एक्चुअली मैं अपना रोस्ट पे हूँ यार।
अच्छा, तुम्हारा वॉइस एको हो रहा। तुम खत्म करके आ जाओ। मोक्स
ओके ओके।
कट के हो रहा। तुम जब भी फ्री है आ जाओ फिर। न्यूक्लियर। What's up guys? Sorry, the Mox was outside but he was trying to give his opinion on the IPL final. Nuclear atoms, congratulations Chennai Super Kings fan. You are the champions, 5-time champions, and we will be discussing that today as well. Who is the best IPL team of all time? Which franchise is the best IPL? There's a lot to discuss. Whoever punter, if you want to join me also, let me know. I'll send you the link. Mox voice echoing. RCB का मैच है क्या आज भाई? आज कोई मैच नहीं है। आज वो मैच चल रहा है यार, वो मैं देखने वाला था। मैं देख रहा था, फिर काम कर रहा था साइड में, बट वो चल रहा, नेट वेस्ट T20 ब्लास्ट चल रहा था। ग्लोस्टरशायर 195 मार दिया, समरसेट खेल रही 120 for 6। यॉर्कशायर और नॉटिंघम का मैच चल रहा, 163 for 6 है Yorkshire. So there is a cricket going on. If you guys are hardcore cricket watchers, you can still watch cricket. I really enjoy domestic England T20 cricket. And you know the funny thing is, yesterday while the IPL final was going on, at the same time Shaheen Shah Afridi and Hales were playing a match as well in the NatWest T20 Blast, 2 World Cup finalists. I don't think many people are watching that game, but yeah man, cricket is cricket. You still see quality everywhere. Jadeja with some last minute Jadoo, the highest final score and the most dramatic finish. Yeah, it was an absolutely dramatic finish till the last ball. क्या बोलते, सो 10 रन चाहिए थे 2 बॉल में। मैं भाई एक भी मिस टाइम हो गया या एक भी गलती होगी बैट्समैन से तो गेम खत्म था। इट वाज गुजरात गेम टू विन इन दोस लास्ट 2 balls, but Jadeja showed his experience and skill. I think he has grown the most as a batsman. अगर मैं last 5 years देख रहा हूँ, I'm sure there's other batsmen, मेरे लिए Jadeja stands out as such an improved batter because मैं उसको उतना rate नहीं करता था पहले. I don't know what you guys think, but मैं उसको उतना पहले नहीं rate करता. I know the odd 2013-14 में न्यूजीलैंड में एक सीरीज उन्हें जबरदस्त बैटिंग करा. फिर मैं तो 2000 आई थिंक 17 से लाइक दैट देयर इज अ होम सीरीज इंडिया में, टेस्ट सीरीज जहां पे इंग्लैंड को मार दिए थे और फिर ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ खेले. जब से मैं जडेजा को नोटिस कर रहा हूं एज अ बैट्समैन, ही इज रियली इंप्रूव्ड एंड ही इज अ क्लच प्लेयर मैन. दिस गाय लाइक he can find the boundaries, he knows how to rotate the strike, and any situation he can get his team out of it. So I've been very very impressed with Jadeja as the batter, and he's evolved man. Kai ko pareshan hai Dhoni best captain ever. Because there's a lot to discuss in that. I don't know, like in IPL, I think he's still the same trophies as Rohit Sharma as captain. You can say, then in T20 cricket, he has won World Cup. There's other T20 captains who have won T20 trophies. Then there's he's won a 50 over World Cup, but so have other people. Then there's some test captains. Oh, punters not at home. ये इंडिया की नई हुडी बहुत मस्त है भाई, जबरदस्त है. मेरे को भी देख लेना है वो. उन्हें विराट कोहली पहना था परसों, मैं देखा था स्टोरी. That new India Adidas kit is amazing man. I love it. I can't wait to get that. Nuclear Singh is fantasy, finished on 20k. Triple captain was played on Conway, not the best result, but I did. The GT player who scored 96 runs, Sai Sudarshan. And yeah, man, like credit to Sai Sudarshan. I think he was outstanding in that final. But overall, if you look at this tournament, it started with Gujarat Chennai, ended with Gujarat Chennai. There was a lot of things happening the whole season, like plenty of ups and downs. Sunrisers, my team, Delhi Capitals, even KKR to a certain extent had a poor season, but KKR had that, Rinku Singh special, which they'll never forget. I think those kind of moments, even if you don't win the championship or don't make the playoffs, they will be remembered in IPL folklore. I think it was outstanding. Those 5 6s to win the game. You need 28 runs, 5 chhakke aap mare. So I think KKR fans have something to smile about. Rajasthan will be very disappointed. For me, they're the most disappointing team, considering the way they started, right? Like, and even on paper, बहुत जबरदस्त team थी, मस्त team थी राजस्थान की. And अच्छा खेल रहे थे. चेन्नई को यही टीम थी जो 2 बार हराए, राजस्थान रॉयल्स, if I'm not mistaken. And whether it was batting, they had Sanju Samson, Butler, Jaiswal in fantastic form. Bowling wise, they were sorted. I know Trent Bolt didn't play every game, but when he did play, he was really good. You had Chahal, Ashwin, Zampa, such experienced spinners, and the way they just performed was very disappointing. I expected them to be in the top 4, even before the tournament, even during the tournament. Like I never thought that Rajasthan. Lucknow had a chance to drop out. RCB was flaky, but Rajasthan, I never thought they would, drop out like that. And I think they would be the most disappointed. They should have reached the playoffs and maybe even the finals and won it also. Sanju Samson's consistency is questionable as well. He did get runs under his belt, but you expect more from him, considering his talent, potential, fan following, everything. Like you expect him to be. But I know Chirag Bhai has some views on that. But yeah, what a final. Oh man, totally enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a really good final. You always wanted to go to the last ball, and considering that it was 10-2, it looked like it was going to go the other way, and suddenly it turned, and it made it even more exciting like that. But compared the teams Rohit has won compared to Dhoni, I that argument, I also used to say that argument, but it doesn't really matter, man. You can say that about Pep Guardiola as well, but you're gonna say he's not. If he wins the treble, he's gonna be right up there with Alex Ferguson. It doesn't matter what teams it was or it's not. Like, you still gotta win, right? Like I really don't see that. I really don't see that argument. And I mean, it's not like MS Dhoni didn't have players. If that's the case, then someone like a Ranieri, he's the best manager of all time. He won the league with Leicester City in 2017. You know what I'm saying? But it's a conversation. I mean, this is just an opinion. You're completely entitled to what you're saying. But my counter to that is that, like, can't really say like, to compare the teams, this and that. Like, it's okay. Like, it's about also winning the titles. There's a counter argument to it. Like, people will say, "Ki bhai, theek hai, magar still you have to win with whatever team you have." Right? Like, someone like Kohli had a great team in the Champions Trophy. They lost it. So it's an argument that you can have. You would never pick the players that like Dhoni did in your team ever. I mean, if you look at it, like, Conway, he's a great batsman. Gaikwad was solid. Moin Ali is a proper all-rounder. You have Jadeja over there. Deepak Chahar is a quality new ball bowler. And yeah, like someone like a Pati Rana, we didn't know about, but it's not like it's not like he wasn't. Like suddenly he burst, he always had the skill. He was a young guy. They scouted him and they picked him. He was a very good bowler. Tikshana is a proper international bowler. He won the Asia Cup, so it's a good team. Like that, it's not. I think for me, MSD best IPL captain with argument. Points are MSD has never won against Rohit in the finals, and he has lost to him 3 times. On the other hand, Dhoni qualified 9 times in finals but lost 4. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, everyone can say, you can say that Dhoni is the best IPL captain ever. I don't think that's anything wrong in that. That is a good opinion to have, considering the consistency that he's shown. No issues, but you can have a different opinion if you are a Rohit Sharma fan. Argument for that. If you're Owen Morgan fan, you can put an argument for him and as a 50-over captain. The way he transformed, if you see England, they got knocked out against Bangladesh in 2015 World Cup, and then you see the transformation, the style of cricket that they're playing, right? Like I think for me, from Indian cricket, it's like Saurav Ganguly brought that new style, aggressive and everything, and and then Dhoni edited it a bit, then Virat Kohli edited it a bit, improved it, so it was like a thing. But like for England's point of view, Owen Morgan had to completely change the whole way England are playing cricket, and for a team who got knocked out to Bangladesh and then went on to dominate limited overs and the style that they were playing. I think the main thing over here, yes, they won a championship, which is very important for everybody, but the style of cricket that England have played, I think you have to give Owen Morgan so much credit for that. He just completely changed it around, and it's entertaining cricket. And now, like what Ben Stokes is doing, it's a leaf out of Owen Morgan's book. Yes, he's taken a high risk by implementing it in Test cricket, which is very unorthodox, and people won't do it. But I think the fact that he's doing it, that idea came from Owen Morgan, and the way he changed everything. So, like, for me, he's an outstanding captain as well. We're just talking about captains in general, not just IPL or T20. We should also mention the effort from Dubey and Raidu's crucial boundaries. Man, Raidu, that tennis ball shot jo mara bhai unhe cover ke upar, was the extra cover ke upar jo mara tha slower ball pe, it was incredible shot, man. And that is the mark of a man who's extremely talented and who has class. And yes, he's past his prime, but he still has that experience. He still has those shots in his locker. And what a way to sign off, man, for your IPL career. Ambati Raidu, 6 championships along with Rohit Sharma. He's tied him now, and that is a remarkable achievement. I even remember him Wankhede pe bhi jab unne batting karta tha. For Mumbai Indians, he was influential in those early seasons, 2012, 13, 14. He used to come one down and really grab the match and take Mumbai to a winning position. Fleming as coach is also brilliant, man. Also a same approach like Dhoni. That's a very good point as well. I think Fleming has been incredible for Chennai, and the bonding has been really good between both of them. Yes, it's a very calm situation over there, and even though yesterday was the first time I saw signs of nerve, but yes, Fleming is man, the guy, and he was a solid captain also for New Zealand. Stephen Fleming. आ गया हूँ भाई, किधर है भाई? आप तो दिख रहे ही नहीं, 1 महीना से तो मेरे को तो नहीं दिखे। किधर आप आईपीएल के बाद ही आ रहे हैं, ऐसा दिख रहा है मेरे को। कैसे हैं नितिन भाई? ठीक ठाक। आ गया हूँ मैं। मेरी 2 प्रेडिक्शन होगी। ब्राजील वाली अब सीएसके कप उठाएगा वाले 3 बचे हैं, ऑस्ट्रेलिया कप उठाएगा। तो आप बोल रहे हो ऑस्ट्रेलिया जीतने वाले हैं वर्ल्ड कप। वर्ल्ड टेस्ट चैंपियनशिप कौन जीतेंगे ये बताओ? एंड ईयर 2023 आईपीएल सीजन 16 इन दोनों को जोड़ो तो 7 बनता है और ट्रॉफी नंबर 7। यार क्या बात है, स्टैट्स वैट्स न्यूमरोलॉजी क्या क्या की कर ले रहे नितिन भाई। why are you going, Vinay, man? Please don't go, bro, man. Stay here, man. Stay and watch. I have to go, but coverage, good coverage over the IPL. Love the live segments from the stadiums. Again, reactions from fans. Keep growing the way you are, and inshallah this channel will grow like no more. Thank you so much, and thank you for your support and your input. आप भी आते रहते चैनल पे, तो आओ जब भी आना है, and thank you for your input and your support and your advice also. We really appreciate it, and yes, we're looking to grow and improve. It's a learning curve for us every day. We're not perfect, and we have to keep improving. A very long way to go. When will this year's World Cup happen? It'll happen in October. I think the schedule will come out next week during the WTC. That's what the information that I read. I think I saw it on Cricinfo. This is the source, but there are plenty of sources who were saying that the WTC final ke time pe they're going to release the World Cup schedule. So you'll have the exact dates over there. तो आपसे एक क्वेश्चन है, आईपीएल स्क्रिप्टेड है सबका पता है बट बाहर क्यों नहीं आता? भाई मुझे पता नहीं है इसका। अगर जवाब था तो मैं आपको दे देता, मुझे पता नहीं है सर। या स्क्रिप्टेड है नहीं है, मुझे ये सब मेरे पास इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है। अगर इन्फॉर्मेशन था तो मैं आपको बताता था। सो आई कैन नॉट टेल यू दैट इज स्क्रिप्टेड और एनीथिंग लाइक दैट। लाइक आई डोंट हैव कंक्लूसिव एविडेंस। Your favorite bet from Indian batters in WTC, who will score runs? Pujara, and I think Pujara is one I'm banking on. He has been playing, in England. I know that it's a different level. The conditions will be a bit different at the WTC. I mean, it's still similar conditions-wise. Pitch might be a bit different, but like Pujara has played in England for a while now. He's acclimatized. He's played different bowlers as well. Yes, against Cummins, Hazelwood, and Stark, it's going to be a different test, but I am banking on Pujara. The only thing I'm concerned is with his approach in England because he does consume deliveries, and that works in Australia because it wears the bowlers down, and the ball gets older, and then it becomes easier as time progresses. And same thing with in India as well. But in England, the ball is always fresh. Like, yes, it gets older, this but it keeps swinging. Now the important thing to note is that if they're playing with the Kookaburra or Duke ball, because Kookaburra, they're saying ki that's what both teams want to play with. Now, if it swings as much as the Duke, I'm not sure, and how that ball behaves. But in general, what I've seen in the past in England, that after 10-15 overs, it swings even more than it did with the new ball. You know what I mean? Like there was last year, I remember that India match, and also the England-India match and England-New Zealand. I think 17th, 18th over, Jimmy Anderson got the ball again for a second spell, and the way he was swinging it was unbelievable. And that is the only issue that I have Pujara ke approach ke साथ कि भाई अगर आप इतना टाइम लेंगे फिर एक बॉल लिखा हुआ एंड आप आउट हो जा सकते हैं because the ball will continue to swing and continue to talk, and that is going to be a problem. Thoughts on the game going on till 3 a.m. in India? Yes, it was the finals, but don't you think there are some rules and regulations? They do have rules and regulations, but they broke them because simply because it was an IPL final. It might have been Dhoni's last. It's Chennai playing, and they wanted the fans kept coming, and for them, I think you needed to get a result. I think what they should have done is first of all get rid of the strategic timeouts, but again वो marketing purposes के लिए broadcast के वजह से आप नहीं कर सकते वो चीज, and it's a one-time thing. I don't think it's a big deal. I would rather see a result that I did yesterday rather than not see a result, right? Then someone will ask ulta question. आप ये सवाल पूछ रहे हैं मेरे से आज, मगर अगर result नहीं हुआ था कल, मेरे को कोई और सवाल पूछता था कि भाई even if it was till 3 a.m. why couldn't they just play just a night? We could have got a result, and it's just एक रात की तो बात है. So that's how I look at it. I think I don't have a problem going 3 a.m. one night. It's fine. Like it was, I'm sure, difficult for everybody, but like you still want to get the result. You want to see what's going to happen, and you want to see a winner, right, at the end of the day. I wanted to get your thoughts on RCB because they should have made it to the playoffs, but what of the chance? My prediction for top four: CSK, GT, or RCB. For me, RCB, as I saw them throughout the tournament, I will be honest with you, I think I never thought they'll make the playoffs. I thought they punched above their expectations. They got themselves into a position where, yes, they should have qualified. That Gujarat game, they should have won and qualified for the top four, but I never kept them in the top four because I felt that they were too dependent on three batsmen and one bowler. And, as the tournament progressed, those batsmen kept performing, and they got them to a position where they can qualify. But in the end, they were found out again, right? Like, in that game against Gujarat, yes, Virat Kohli scored 100, but there was no support on the other end, and then bowling wise they got found out. And Chinnaswamy, they struggled because teams were coming with loaded batting attacks and they kept hitting from ball one. These guys were a bit more conservative in their approach, and they were getting to just to 200 or like that, and teams were coming and chasing it because they were playing from, and Chinnaswamy, you have to attack from ball one and play your shots. And so, yeah, I thought they'll come 7th, 8th. They came 5th, I think. And they got, or 5th or 6th, but they came to a position where they could have made the playoffs. And I was surprised by that, like that they're going to make the playoffs. In the end, if you take that game in isolation, they should have won that and they should have made the playoffs. They should have been in the top four in hindsight. But if I just look at the way they set up before before the season, and as the season started and the games they were playing, I never expected RCB to make it to the top four, because there were issues in that team. It was not, they were too dependent on 3-4 players. आप गुजरात को देख लो, like everyone said Shubman Gill पे dependent है. It's not true. Like, he didn't perform in the final. This guy came, Sai Sudarshan came out of nowhere, smashed it. There was times Rashid came, hit 80 of 30. There was a time Tiwatia hit 3 sixes and almost beat, was it against Delhi? There was a game. So there was someone or the else contributing, and that is why Gujarat went that far. And the games they lost as well were like, just out of nowhere. They should have won those games as well, but yeah, like, it was a team effort. Their bowling was outstanding yesterday as well. Like, in difficult conditions, I felt they bowled well, except for maybe Rashid's last over and Mohit Sharma's last 2 deliveries. I think they bowled pretty well, considering the conditions and the opposition. चिकू एंड अज्जू भाई, जीतेगा तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया। अपन भाई ग्रीन अकेला बहुत है। अरे, आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया को सपोर्ट करते हैं, मैं भूल गया। देखो, ऑस्ट्रेलिया की टीम तो बहुत तगड़ी है। हम कल करेंगे एनालिसिस, उसका स्क्वाड एनालिसिस दोनों स्क्वाड्स के, और तो आप लोग भी जुड़िए हमारे साथ। एंड आई थिंक इट्स it's going to be a lot of fun. Build up, अब एक हफ्ता बच गया, and we'll keep building up to that. But Australia की टीम तो बहुत तगड़ी है। Cameron Green could be the deciding factor, because he's someone who will give you overs. He can get that extra bounce as well in England, some swing, and then batting wise, he'll play that Andrew Symonds, Gilchrist kind of role, which they used to play, counter attacking type, coming at 5-6, maybe 6-7, and India has a problem with the tail, and Cameron Green could start building partnerships with Mitchell Stark, Pat Cummins and stuff, and it could cause us an issue in the final. Indians playing IPL, Australians playing county, how would this affect WTC? Yeah, it will affect, in the sense Australia will be better prepared, because they're playing the format, they're playing the longer game. Their mindset is already in Test cricket. Whereas someone like a Rohit Sharma is trained his brain. You have to hit a 6 every ball or whatever it is, and then suddenly now you need to play attritional cricket. You have to work your way to a score. You need to leave the ball. No one thinks about leaving the ball in the IPL, right? So it is an advantage Australia, in my opinion. You would, if maybe someone in the Indian team or someone like an avid Indian fan would argue, saying that it's okay, they're professional cricketers, they can adjust and everything like that, which is also true. But अब देखेंगे क्या था, मगर मेरे opinion में how it affects it, that it gives Australia an advantage. I think they're better prepared in that way. So this is where is Mr. Faz? Mr. Faz might be joining me. I'm not sure exactly where he is, but he might be joining me. So this is Vinish's point of view, and this is the counter that I think I was talking about. Practice not matter much in my view, because we played a warm-up game before 5th test against England. What happened? We lost. I have high hopes from this team to win. Hope Virat scores. Look, that is the counter that you have, that they're an international team. They've played in these conditions before. They've been to England in the last 2 years. They played test cricket in England. They played 4 matches in 2021, and then they played a match in 2022 before that limited overs leg. So they've been there and stuff, but I just think the frame of mind and playing one, switching between the formats, travel as well. I think they're probably more tired, whereas the likes, even if you look at Pujara and then the rest of the Smith, Labuschagne, they're in one country. Yes, they do travel, they're playing a lot of cricket and stuff, but they're acclimatizing to that same country, the conditions which they're going to play this test match, and that's why I think it does give Australia advantage. How many players can team retain in the next auction? I am not sure. I have to do some research on that. I'm guessing, I don't know if it's the mega. I don't think it's the mega auction, is it? I think it might just be a normal auction. It depends also how many players they release as well. Because last year, before this season, it wasn't a mega auction. It was just a regular auction, but teams had released players. That's why there were a few players who were available. I have mixed feelings about the auction. For it only works for a team if you do have very good auction, and if not, then the team gets off the mark to a bad start. So yeah, I mean, I don't think CSK had the best of auctions. The players that they invested in, like Ben Stokes, he didn't really turn up, right? But they still managed to win. So there are exceptions, but yes, if you do have a bad auction, it could give you a disadvantage in the IPL auction. और कौन सी टीम के बारे में बात करना था, आप लोग भी बताइए। Lucknow Super Giants, I think despite them losing to Mumbai Indians, I think they had a decent season. They have a well-oiled unit. It's just that I think on that day, the pressure got to them. Team selection issue as well. Quinton de Kock should have played in that game. KL Rahul not being there, I don't really know if it really affected them. I don't think it did, but I still like them as a team, and I think there's a good future for them. A decent season, but they will be disappointed because now it's been last year they came third, this year they came fourth, which is still good. I think for a new team, it's very good. But when you compare them to Gujarat, maybe that's where they want to be, right? Playing in finals, and with the team that they have, I think they have a more balanced team than Gujarat. Gujarat have some 4 or 5 incredible match winners, but Lucknow, like if you just see your team bat the all-rounders, bowlers, batsmen, I like the way they're set up, and maybe they might expect more from themselves. Who do you see as the future captain of CSK? So I initially thought Ben Stokes would be the captain, and that's why they picked him, but that didn't really work out this season. So future captain, maybe they'll look to groom someone like a Gaikwad, someone who has been consistent for them in the last 2-3 years, has scored runs at the top of the order. He's done really well for CSK. Maybe someone that they can groom, or they have to go buy a player in the auction. They could what if they go and get a Shubman Gill in the auction, or what if they get somebody else? I don't know what the scene is, but either you go buy a foreign player or an Indian player in the auction, or you do a trade, or you groom someone like a Gaikwad. Jadeja, clearly it didn't work out, the captaincy, but it's good to see that still whatever happened, the drama last year, it's worked out, and he hit the winning runs. That's a really good story as well. Like Jadeja must have been at a low point last year with the franchise, but they stuck to him, he stuck with them, and it proved very fruitful, that the patience. It's amazing how CSK get the best out of players most of the time. There is something to learn from CSK management. Yeah, man. I don't know how they do it. A bit of luck here and there, but yeah, like I think it's that relaxed environment, and when you have someone like a Dhoni and Fleming who understand the game so well, and just their personalities probably match, and it is crazy. Like Moeen Ali has played for other franchises. Shivam Dubey has played for other franchises, namely RCB. But they played. All these other players have played, everywhere else. And like someone like a Devin Conway, I don't think he might not have worked if he went to RCB or if he went to another team. But the way Dhoni backed him, and there was people who were saying at the start that they should drop Conway, but they stuck to him, and he proved to be one of the best players in the tournament, man, in my opinion. I would much prefer if they switch to transfer window. Like in football, the budget thing for teams in auction can be confusing on how particular team is way more than the others. Yeah, but the thing is, football, there's so many leagues, there's so many players and everything, so it's easier to implement that kind of model. In cricket, they'll have to be a bit careful how they do it. First of all, you have limited players in cricket compared to football, and then on top of that, there's Pakistan players don't play, some other players don't play. You have that rule of 4 foreigners and everything, so it becomes a bit difficult. The amount is equal for all nuclear. Fixed budget depends on who are you picking. So the thing is, the reason why it seems that they have more money than other teams in the auction is because retention mein paise chale aate. So if you retain like someone like a Rashid, Hardik and these guys, you have then less money in the auction to spend. And for example, this year Sunrisers released a lot of players, so they had the biggest budget because they released Puran, they released Romario Shepherd, and quite a few players, and that's why they had a lot of money. So that's the reason why you're getting, your budget is the same initially before the mega auction, I think, but then depending on your retentions and your release, your budget does fluctuate, and that is the difference. For example, Mumbai CSK didn't need to do much shopping because they didn't release that many players. The Sunrisers had to do more shopping because they released players. If GT stick to the same path, I think next decade will belong to GT. That's Are Gurnur Paji, kithe bhai, ki haal chal sab theek thak. Yeah, I think that's a very good point. GT jo बताएं ये 2 साल, again it looks like a CSK type of template. And one thing that I liked about Hardik yesterday is straight he went to Mohit Sharma, right? I thought Hardik is a very volatile guy, he can lose his shit very easily as well, and I've seen that in the past. But I think as a captain, the way he went to his player right after that last ball and smiled and just hugged him, I think that was a sign that this team has a lot to prove. And it's a young team. They've got plenty of talent. You got the future of India there, Shubman Gill. You've got the best T20 cricketer, Rashid Khan, and you can build around these players. You have these 3-4 core players. Someone like a Miller, like, you can replace him in the future. You've got Mohammad Shami there. You can add some fast bowling if required. You've got, like, Little, Joseph. You've got some players you can build around, and some players will be replaceable, and they showed that they replaced Ferguson. They got in Little this year. It's a very smart buy, and in hindsight we're seeing that, but at that time nobody thought about it, but the management did, and I think they've done really well, and also they played exciting cricket, right? Like in these last 2 years. First year I felt they were lucky, but it was still exciting. This year they were dominant, and it was still exciting. Even the games that they lost, like the Rinku Singh 5-6, we'll never forget that game. Remember, Rashid took a hat trick as well. So some of the cricket that they played has been sensational, and मेरे को तो पसंद नहीं भाई गुजरात, मगर you have to pay respect to that team, man. वो जबरदस्त खेल रहे last 2 years. They played really well. I still don't rate Dubey, very limited player, and yeah, like I also don't rate him, man. But I knew that MS Dhoni will get the best out of him. He's done it with Albi Morkel. He's done it with Uttappa, with Rahane. He's done it with Manpreet Dhoni and stuff. And I knew a utility type player Dhoni likes. He likes someone who can like, he's a big striker of the ball. He can bowl as well a bit, Shivam Dubey, and Dhoni can make the most of it. Like, I think he's done it with other players. Kedar Jadhav ke saath bhi aisa kar raha tha unhe, and I just felt that under Dhoni he will perform, and he's shown that. Otherwise, he is a limited player. If he goes to Mumbai Indians or some other team next year, I don't think he'll perform that to that level. And same thing with Deshpande, man. I don't think he's very erratic. वो धोनी उसको like guide करा and stuff, and संभाल लिया उसको end में. मगर even for CSK, the amount of extras that he bowled was ridiculous, and there was so many deliveries. So many times he got smashed also. Yes, he did bowl well. You have to give credit where it's due. He picked up a lot of wickets. But उन्हें कहीं और गया तो I don't think ऐसा ये level पे उन्हें करने वाला है. Thoughts on KP comparing Hardik with Mourinho? I didn't see that, so if you can just tell me the context. I don't think it's the same, man, because Mourinho is a pragmatic coach. His approach is defense first, and then playing counter-attacking football. Whereas I think Hardik Pandya, they do play attacking cricket. The way they've set up their team, they attack from ball one, whether it's with the ball or bat. Like, you have Shubman Gill, Saha, and then in the middle overs you got Hardik himself, Tewatia, Miller, aggressive batsmen, and then bowlers you've got Shami, Rashid, Noor. You're playing two leg spinners. I don't think Mourinho. That's like playing, taking out a defensive midfielder and playing two, center midfielders or attacking midfielders. And I don't think Mourinho would do that. So I don't know what the context was, but if I'm just talking from players, team styles, then I don't think that's true. Which Indian batsman you want in SRH next season? Bro, I don't want anyone. I'm happy with my team, man. I just want my players to score. But if you really ask me, if it's unrealistic, I would love Shubman Gill. If it is realistic, I don't even know. I don't know, man. Like, a realistic कौन available है, कौन नहीं है. But Shubman Gill, not even Rinku Singh, but Shubman Gill is someone that I would love to have in my team, man. I think he's a solid batter. But if you look at our batting, I would still take our batting, man. Like, it's just that they have to play better, man. Whether it's a Mayank Agarwal, Tripathi, these guys. Our batting, we have more batsmen than RCB do, but RCB batted way better, man. It's just weird. Who's favorite in WTC, or it's 50-50? अब सबका अलग अलग होगा. मेरे हिसाब से ऑस्ट्रेलिया फेवरेट है 60-40, but I think India has a chance, has a good chance. I'm not counting India out. I think लोग बोल रहे हैं कि भाई मैं भी बोला हूँगा पहले कि भाई बहुत स्विंग होने वाला है, खत्म होने वाली है, but I'll give India a 40% chance because look, at the end of the day, they're a professional team, they're a solid team. They played in England in the last 2 years with this similar team. They understand conditions. Bumrah is going to be a big miss. That's one of the reasons I'm giving Australia the favorite stack. I think Jasprit Bumrah being there would have changed things around. I think I still worry about the bowling, that third bowler. Will he be able to continue to pile up the pressure? Because we know that in Australia, Stark or Hazelwood ke baad Cummins aayega, and he will maintain that pressure. He'll maintain that line length. I don't know if Shardul Thakur or Umesh Yadav or whoever is, will they maintain? If Siraj and Shami get you off to the good start, will you be able to maintain that? Like, that is one thing I'm worried about. Second is, Australia have been preparing well for this. A lot of their players are playing in those conditions. India only had Pujara. Fatigue could be another issue because IPL required a lot of travel and everything. That could be another problem. And just a basic, like, even if you look at it player for player, I think it is it is close, but Australia do have a full fit team, and they also have a very experienced unit, right? These guys are playing together also in the last 4 or 5 years together. You remember Nathan Lyon. You look at the bowling attack. I think the 6 saal se to yahi bowling attack hai in logon ki. But batting wise, you got Smith, you got Labuschagne, who's done well. Warner, experienced. Khwaja has been someone who has really picked up his game in the last 3-4 years. And Travis Head could be an X factor. Cameron Green is an X factor. Just like if you look at the balance of the team, Australia looks solid, man. Don't know IPL is scripted or not, but always gives us happiness, entertainment, definitely, and that's what it is, man. 7:30 so Star Plus ये वो सब बंद हो जाता है, Star Sport खुल जाता है, and सब देखते हैं cricket. Whatever, people have different opinions. People say ये है वो है ये है, मगर सब तो देखते हैं match. And I think Jio पे कल 2 करोड़ या कोई लोग देख रहे थे. मैं एक image देखा था, but yeah, a lot of people enjoy IPL. It's a routine for us, right? That slot 7:30 to 11 o'clock is all about cricket and entertainment hote rehta. Sky and Gill for SRH. Yeah, man, Surya Kumar Yadav, man, that guy is an outstanding batter, man, outstanding batter. 70-30 in favor of Australia, according to me. Yeah, fair enough, man. I'm just giving India a bit more chance, but that's fair enough. 70-30. Like I mentioned, man, Australia is going to be a tough team to beat in these conditions. Did you see the good news that Pant won't have to go for second surgery as his PCL has healed and now looking like he will be back to playing end of this year when India tour SA? That is incredible news. I did not know that. Thank you for sharing that, and wishing him all the best and looking forward. And this man, Rishabh Pant, we're going to miss a lot. That's another I forgot to say, and I think I have to agree with Chirag by now as well, 70-30 or maybe 65-35, because Rishabh Pant, man, this guy is the one away from home, especially even at home. Just regardless, in Test cricket in the last 2 years, he's been India's best batsman by far. He's scored 100 in South Africa. He scored in Australia. He scored in England in that last year. Jo match tha, jab India, were in a struggling position, he came, scored 100, and he took us to a winning position. And then bowlers didn't do their job, and England played baseball, and we lost. But it was Rishabh Pant who got us into that good position, solid position, by scoring 100. And it was a counter-attacking innings. I think they were like 100 for 5. 100 for 5, 100 for 5 or 90 for 4 or something. And the way he played was sensational. Rishabh Pant is going to be a huge miss in this WTC, and I might have to agree with Chirag Bhai now, man, in terms of that proportion. Rishabh Pant and Bumrah both not being there is a big, big miss. Why is domestic cricket or even IPL not getting all good all-rounders? And even if they are in IPL teams, they are not bowling like Shankar, Iyer, Dubey. I don't know, man. Maybe like in India, because of the competition, everyone's saying, "Bhai, एक line पकड़ो और उस पे ही चलो." आप fields में भी देखो, doctor, engineering, ये वो specific fields लेते हैं, फिर उस पे ही चलते, because competition बहुत रहता है हर field में India में, because of the population and everything. Same thing with cricket. They feel that, like, if they do both batting and bowling, their quality won't be as good. If they focus on one skill, then their quality will better. Maybe that's the mindset, and it's the wrong mindset, but it's unfortunate, man. I don't know why they don't bowl and what it is. They should practice first of all in the nets. I remember was it Ganguly or Dravid? Someone was saying that, like, these guys, including Ganguly, Sachin, Sehwag, they all used to practice bowling in the nets. It's not like they just used to bat. Abhi, they're just focusing on one skill, and I don't know what it is. It's $1 million question that India doesn't produce all-rounders consistently. MSC is now undisputed greatest captain in IPL, and internationally he's the greatest captain for India in white ball. I think that's a fair assessment. You're specific. You're saying IPL mein he's undisputed. That could be, like, I know there will be Rohit Sharma fans who argue with that, which is also fair. But yeah, that is a good point. And greatest captain for India wide ball, to bol sakte hain aap, haan, because he's won Champions Trophy, he's won T20 World Cup, and he's won the 50 over. You could say that's a fair assessment and you mentioned for India. You didn't say overall, so I think that is a fair assessment. In the venue, if the venue would have been Australia, I would say 50-50, but England had always been a weak point for India, and that's because swing bowling, foot movement gets checked. वहाँ पे edges आते रहते, and I think you're right, man. Even if it was Australia, I would have also given 50-50. And Ponting said it differently. He said that it's 50-50 now because it's in these conditions. Australia, he would give Australia the advantage. India, he'll give India the advantage. But for me, it's what Chirag Bhai said. I think if it was in Australia, India have a better chance. But in England, it could be difficult. But look, we've seen in England in the last couple of years, they've got into good positions in test matches, whether it was that Siraj delivery at Lord's, Rohit Sharma's 100, Rahul's 100. They've done well in England in situations, and they have to, look at that as a positive. They have experience. I think the last time Australia toured England was in 2019. India have already toured that twice in that time. They've already played like 5 test matches there, so they understand what the conditions are. And now it's just about getting into that mindset, getting into the zone, and taking it session by session, hour by hour, ball by ball, and trying your best. But yeah, it is going to be difficult. uh, each and every one now put Australia top in the final. No doubt, pressure. There is pressure, but as compared to past, where everybody say India going to win, they choke. Now they have less pressure. That's a very good point. लोग इंडिया को फेवरेट्स बना देते हैं हर टूर्नामेंट में, हर सीरीज में. आई थिंक लास्ट WTC में भी न्यूजीलैंड के अगेंस्ट इंडिया को फेवरेट्स लोग बनाए थे. वर्ल्ड कप्स में भी बनाते हैं फेवरेट्स, एंड दिस टाइम आई थिंक ऑस्ट्रेलिया आर probably favorites, and maybe that takes the pressure off a bit. But when you're the Indian cricket team, when you're Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, there will always be pressure. It doesn't matter. There will always be eyes on you. Whether you're favorites or not, it doesn't matter. Pressure तो कभी रुकेगा नहीं भाई, सब तो देखने वाले हैं, and the whole world will be watching this test match, especially the cricket lovers of all the nations, all the journalists, sports journalists, everyone. If whether you're from Pakistan or from New Zealand or from Sri Lanka or even in England, you will be watching that test match. I was listening to another podcast recently, and they were discussing that there's going to be in Lords, there's going to be the England Ireland test match, and then in the Oval is the India. I think they're going to go shuttle between the test matches, even though they're supposed to cover the England match. They're going to go and cover the India Australia as well. So when it's India playing, everybody, all eyes on India. For me, 60-40 in favor of India. Interesting. Why do you say that, sir? What is your reasoning behind it? Australia also struggled in England from last couple of years. I think जब 2019 में तो अच्छा खेले थे उन लोग. Tim Payne जब captain था, they should have won that series 2-1, 3-1, but that Ben Stokes innings and then the last game they screwed it up a bit, so it was 2-2. But they did retain the Ashes. They played very good cricket in that. I think Steve Smith had one of the best series of his life. That 100, I still remember in the first test match of the Ashes, where they were like 90 for 8 or something, or 120 for 8, and then he scored 100, and then he scored another 100 in the second innings, I think, or something around that. And he had a world-class kind of performance. And Smith is getting back into form, so he's going to be a dangerous player. You've got like other players as well. It's a good combination of youth and thing. You've got Smith and Labuschagne, you've got like Khwaja Warner, but then Travis Head and thing as well, Cameron Green. So it's a good combination of youth, experience, and they will be a threat in these conditions. Ranked the IPL captains this year. Hardik Pandya, MS Dhoni. I mean, Dhoni won, so let's go. MS Dhoni, Hardik Pandya, Rohit Sharma. Those are top 3. Then I don't know, but I really liked what's his name? Nitesh Rana. I liked his captaincy. They didn't do that well in terms of the table and everything, but they were still in it till the last game, and I felt that his captaincy was really good. The way he changed his bowlers, and he also had. You talk about Dhoni, not having players. Look at KKR's team. Shreyas Iyer not being there. The best bowler Ferguson wasn't fully fit. He wasn't bowling to that level. Shardul Thakur got injured in between. I think the way he set it up, and some games, the way that they won, whether it was beating CSK, Gujarat, I think I really like Nitish Rana's captaincy. For me, the worst captain was probably Shikhar Dhawan. I don't know. People will say Markram, people will say Warner, but I think for me Shikhar Dhawan was the worst captain because he had I think one of the best teams on paper and thing. And then second was probably Sanju Samson this year. I was very disappointed. I think he's a very good captain, but this year he was very disappointing with that team. Shikhar Dhawan and Sanju Samson, I grade them low because there are many batters in form and Siraj in his prime. Who is in form? Please tell me. Are you saying form in terms of IPL form? Or are you saying form in terms of red ball form? Because Vinesh bhai, the other thing is you also have to remember ऑस्ट्रेलिया इंडिया का जो सीरीज था, हम लोग 2-0 जीत रहे थे. सब बोल रहे थे कि भाई ऑस्ट्रेलिया क्यों आए यहाँ पे, कोई प्रिपरेशन नहीं, कोई कुछ आता नहीं इन लोग को, दे डोंट नो हाउ टू प्ले इन दीस कंडीशंस. पूरे चैनल्स पे लोग बोल रहे थे. फिर 2-1 हो गया था, फिर हाथ में आ गई लास्ट मैच बिकॉज दे हैड टू विन एंड थिंक, पर वो भी ड्रॉ करे, जीते नहीं मैच. सो इंडिया वन 2-1. सो इन दोस कंडीशंस इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया गिव देम अ टफ फाइट. नाउ दीस कंडीशंस विल फेवर ऑस्ट्रेलिया अ बिट मोर देन much more than in India. So if you see the last Test series, it doesn't give me as much confidence. I don't know what you think, what you other guys think, but that's just how I'm looking at it. England versus Ireland is starting Thursday. Anderson brought both ruled out of the match. Yeah, I was looking at they were in the squad, but yeah, interesting that they ruled out. Maybe I don't know what the injury concern is, and whether they'll be fit for the Ashes. Because I think this might just be Jimmy and Broad's last Ashes. They won't admit it right now, but it might be so. I don't know what the extent of the injury is and what the situation is exactly. लेकिन मेरे हिसाब से yeah, we'll have to monitor that because they will play a vital role, man, in the Ashes if they do play. Mhm. Yeah, and let me know what you guys think. Who's the best IPL team of all time? Is it CSK? Is it Mumbai Indians? What is it, bro? For me, it's Sunrisers. But like, yeah, you let me know what is who do you think is the best IPL team of all time? Can't blame India in third test because it was just a lottery looking at the pitch, bro. There was a lottery every pitch, man. Wo Rohit Sharma, it was turning from ball one every in the first two games as well. Just in the fourth test they changed it because of the what happened in the third test. वो भी लॉटरी था सेकंड टेस्ट आपको याद नहीं है सेकंड या फर्स्ट टेस्ट इंडिया के लग गए थे कौन लगाई पार्टनरशिप अश्विन लगाया कोई पार्टनरशिप उसमें भी लग इट वाज अ लकी एस्केप इन वन ऑफ दोस मैचेस दैट इंडिया वन please remind me. I forgot exactly, but yeah, as you mentioned, KKR, both Russell and Narayan don't have much time left. Time to revamp this team. Yeah, I think time to revamp and what do you call it? Get some new players, get some Indian players. Of course, they will be kicking themselves the way Shubman Gill is playing right now, but you can't do anything about that. It's about looking forward, seeing what you can do now. What is the best possible strategy? What are the best players you can get? I think Rinku Singh is a huge positive for them. Nitish Rana is a huge positive for them, and build around these two players. Varun Chakravarti has been outstanding as well. So you do have some very talented players. You build around them. Try to get your replacements for Russell Narayan. I think Gurbaz, Jason Roy are also they played pretty well at times in this tournament. They were very impressive in specific games, and they do still have a decent team. And they just have to make some changes, and I think they can still go upwards. England have already announced 11, and and there's a bowler making his debut. They've announced their 11, huh? Today is Tuesday. No, they do it one day before the thing. We'll go England versus Ireland. Ireland. Oh, Tongue set for Lord's debut as England leave Vokes out. So Vokes is also not playing. Mr. Tongue is playing. He's a strong lad. England's 11 is Zach Crawley, Ben Duckett opening the batting. You got Ollie Pope, 1 down, Joe Root, 2 down, Harry Brook, my guy, 3 down, Ben Stokes, Johnny Bairstow at number 7, Stuart Broad. Broad is playing, Ibrahim Bhai. Broad, Matthew Potts, Josh Tongue, Jack Leach. Unless something happened after this article was released, it shows that Broad is playing. So you got Josh Tongue. Matthew Potts has been very impressive. He's a Durham lad. He plays with Ben Stokes in the same county. Ben Stokes has watched him closely. He backs him a lot. The guy has extra pace as well. We saw that in the last summer in England. He was sensational against New Zealand, South Africa. Yeah, pace uski achhi hai, Mr. Matthew Potts. I know, but Aksar and Ashwin was crucial, but it wasn't spinning like third test match. फिर आप क्या बोलेंगे अगर यहाँ पे ग्रीन पिच हो गया एंड द बॉल स्विंग्स इतना फिर आप क्या बोलने वाले हैं मैं यही तो बोल रहा हूँ यू हैव कंडीशंस तो आपको चैलेंजिंग तो आएंगे कुछ भी हो सकता है अब आप वो कंडीशंस में अगर इतना स्विंग हो रहा है आप इंडिया को बैक करेंगे या नहीं ये बताओ एंड अगर आप बॉलिंग अटैक्स देखो आपको सच में लग रहा है कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया की अटैक कमजोर है इंडिया की कमजोर है आप ये बताओ या आपको टक्कर का दिख रहा है what changes do you see in DC? Rishabh Pant coming back, that's going to be a massive change. Once he comes, I think things will start settling in a bit. They might have to, start replacing David Warner. He's like 35, 36 now. I think, and they need to get a middle order batting, man. With Pant coming in, that already solves one slot. I think that is a thing. And then get some extra batting. Prithvi Shaw maybe needs to be replaced. They need to get other players, or he needs to improve, whatever it is. They need to improve their Indian batting, bowling wise as well. Maybe like a replacement for Khalil or like a backup for him, something like that. But otherwise, it's a very good bowling attack. I like their bowling attack. Nokia, Kuldeep, Aksar. It's pretty good. But middle order is something that is Indian batting is more of a concern. I think Robin Powell, Rousseau, these are still very good batters. So maybe don't have to touch that a bit. But like it's the Indian players that need to um, improve or get changed for Delhi Capitals. Sunrise is also like forget it, man. But yeah, I don't. The problem is I don't want that much change. Change से प्रॉब्लम लग जाएंगे. If you sell Harry Brook, उन्हें आके मार देता. You sell Abhishek Sharma, उन्हें भी आके मार देंगे आपके against. So I don't think you should sell players. You have talented players. It's about backing your players. Make one or two changes, subtle changes, not like a freaking like a overhaul or like a warehouse sale type of thing. वो नहीं करना चाहिए. In the way we have also Siraj and Shami Umesh believe in the team. Let's see what they do. You're right. Australia bowlers are much better. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't believe in your team. I'm not saying India doesn't have a chance. I believe that India has a chance. I'm giving them 40%. But I think the fact that Bumrah's not there, Rishabh Pant is not there, and if I just look at that Australian team, Joe Baird, it's a very strong team. Like even if India had their full 11, I would maybe say 50-50. Or 55-45 Australia's favor. I think in these conditions or any conditions, this Australian team is gelling really well together. They're very solid, experienced. They know all the conditions. They understand everything. And it's a very good batting lineup, very good bowling lineup. And I just backed them a bit more. Like, someone like Smith and Labuschagne, the way they're preparing right now, it's kind of scary for me, like as an Indian fan. They're like right they're on the game right now. Yes, it's a one-off test match. We might get them out for 0. Both of them back to back. Siraj might just polo khad denga. But like the thing is, if you just look over right now, the information. What is the information we have? The information we have is that India have a few injuries. India have playing IPL. They were running around. They're playing a different format. Australia, a lot of their players have acclimatized already. They're playing county cricket. Now they're going to get together and they're going to practice a bit more and they will be prepared. So the information that I have right now is pointing in the favor that Australia are set up better. Doesn't mean India won't win the test match. Just with the information that I have, I'm telling you who I think is favorites to win the game. I think I confused Broad with Vokes. They are taking precaution. Yes, Vokes is not playing and Anderson is not playing. Robinson and Vokes, as all three picks injuries. Yeah, I remember Robinson did pick up an injury. His battle with Labuschagne was very impressive as well. If you saw that they're playing a game against each other, I think last week. It was a very good battle. Robinson versus Mr. Labuschagne. That was a very good battle. And just check in. The Gloucestershire Essex need 48 and 32 balls, 5 wickets remaining. Daniel Sams is batting with Tom Wesley right now. Ibrahim Bhai, Simon Harmer is the guy you're talking about, right? The South African bowler. Is it him who's playing in Essex? Yeah, sorry, let me just take a few comments. 10 teams because of which players like Manish Pandey get a chance but not taking advantage of this opportunity is such a shame, whereas guys like Mohit Rahane grabbing it at both ends. Yeah, but we can't expect like every player to grab opportunities. That's the thing. It's not every player will grab the opportunity. Yes, Manish Pandey has been very disappointing. He should have done better. Lekin uski qismat mein nahi tha. He didn't perform to that level, whereas these guys did. And yeah, it is what it is. It's just if you're that individual, it's unfortunate. You have to work harder and you have to try to improve your game. I hope they don't make same mistakes like last WTC play 2 spinners. And yeah, there is reports coming out that they might play 2 spinners. Ravi Shastri said you should play 2 spinners. India will play 2 spinners, but I don't think that should be the case. I think they'll have to go with 4 fast bowlers and a spinner. That's what I'm looking at. But the thing is, at the Oval, from what I was reading and hearing, that it's traditionally a batting pitch will break down a bit. Of course, not like Chennai or whatever, but it breaks down a bit and it does assist spinners on day 4 and 5. So there is still a possibility that India will play 2 spinners. There is still a possibility. Looking at the pitch conditions, we'll have a better understanding. Also, we'll have to track the weather, man. 2-3 days ago, I saw it looked like it was sunny next week, but Friday, pata chalenga because I want to see that 5-day forecast. Friday, Saturday को देखना पड़ेगा क्या है forecast उस हिसाब से. We'll see. Yes, Simon Harmer for South Africa spinner. Yeah, he took a wicket today, so I remember that you were speaking about him. India will survive till day 3. Yeah, I mean, let's see how it goes. You got Shubman Gill in cracking form. Yes, T20 में मारा उन्हें, मगर टेस्ट क्रिकेट में भी सेंचुरीज है उसके. Like he's done well at the Gabba. We need some runs from him at the top. Rohit Sharma need a change of form, change of thing, and Rohit Sharma sometimes in tough conditions can pull out a blinder. We need players like that. But yeah, it will be tough, man. It's going to be a tough game. But Oval is good batting ground in England. That's why Ravi Shastri want 2 spinners. Yeah, and the fact that it might get drier on day 4, day 5, that's what he was mentioning. That's why he's probably going with the thing to go with 2 spinners. India's batting also, I'm not 100% confident. Ab dekho, yes, Shubman Gill, good form. Virat Kohli, good form. Rahane, good form, but different format. But still, let's see how he goes. His experience, he understands. Rohit Sharma, not in good form. Now you compare that to that Australia batting. I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. We need Pujara, man. We need Pujara to smash it and need him to score the big runs. And then all these other guys bat around him. Someone like a Virat Kohli Pujara or a Virat Kohli Rahane partnership would be very nice to watch. I think I really enjoyed Virat Kohli and Rahane when they bat together, whether it's been in Australia or England or thing. When they bat together, it's class counter-attacking cricket. Not counter-attacking, but like they play some class shots in between and they rotate the strike. I want to see a partnership like that. India के पास 4 फास्ट बॉलर्स है क्या बेटर गो विद 2 स्पिनर्स भाई तो बॉलर्स तो है उन लोगों के पास शार्दुल ठाकुर या उनटकट उमेश यादव they've got options. I would have just taken Ishant Sharma with me as well, man. If I'm there with the injuries that we have and everything, just he's still bowling at 140. But bowlers to have high. But if you go with 2 spinners, are you going to play those? Are they going to bowl? Will they be able to think like? So, and also the third fast bowler, who are you going to pick? If you're going to pick Shardul Thakur, do you rely on him to bowl as your third bowler, right? Because the third bowler in England, as compared to India, the third fast bowler will be very, very important. He has to bowl a lot of overs. Australia, Pat Cummins as the third bowler, right? Or Hazelwood, one of the two, like whoever takes the new ball, that second will be the third bowler. So your third bowler needs to be point. He has to bowl a lot of overs, and that is the question. So will 3 bowlers be enough? Is my question. 3 fast bowlers. Can Umesh Yadav take that role, or can Shardul Thakur take that role of the third bowler? Absolutely, what a combination. Ajinkya and Virat, love watching them. Yeah, me too, man. I think when they're in full flow, it took me back to that Perth test. I think India lost that test match, but there was a Virat Kohli and Rahane partnership, man. That was crazy batting on a tough pitch. I really enjoyed that partnership. I think Kohli scored 100. Rahane got out early on the next day, but that post-tea session, when it was getting a bit tough for India, the way they batted was beautiful to watch. Hopefully, Rahane doesn't get Virat run out. Others totally agree with you. Love watching them bat together and funny to watch Rohit and Pujara together. Yeah, and look, we need a good start from Pujara and Shubman Gill. That will be very, very crucial as well. If the oval pitch is a green top, I don't think they will play 2 spinners. I'm expecting a green top that will assist seamers a lot. It could be, but traditionally, there's the thing with oval. It is known as a batting pitch, so we don't know exactly what's happening. Look, if it was not an ICC event, then the home team can prepare the green pitches and stuff. The ICC event, I don't know who takes the call. Maybe it's the ICC themselves, or I don't know who takes the call in terms of the pitch. But yeah, it might be a bit more neutral. It won't be like, just green or just thing. And if it's a traditional pitch, then there's something in it for the batters. There's going to be something in it for the fast bowlers, spinners. It'll be a bit more that kind of thing. And England also, the overhead conditions also influence and dictate the way the game is played. Like suddenly it can get overcast and the ball can move around, or it can get overcast and suddenly the ball doesn't move around. There are different factors to it. There's a light rain as well. It can change conditions a bit, or it can change the texture of the pitch, and like different things can happen, in my opinion. Take Ishant any day for such pitches. He's your best shot, but that's the thing, right? You have to look forward as well. And I would have taken Ishant Sharma considering the injuries that we have, and everything. I would have taken him, but he's also coming to a certain age where, 30 or 34, 35, you're playing the World Test Championship. I think they just got screwed with the Bumrah injury. Otherwise, Bumrah, Siraj, and Shami would have been the attack to go for. It was Siraj who took Ishant's place eventually, right? But now you have to look to the future. You've got to build fast bowlers for these occasions. Look at Australia, man. And the thing is also, like, India can't do that, what Australia do, because Mitchell Stark Cummins, Hazelwood, they pick and choose what they're going to play. They don't play every single tournament. They don't play every single league. They don't play every single match for Australia. They pick and choose. And that is why they've lasted this long together. It's been like, since 2017, 18, I'm watching these guys together. And that is the reason. And I don't think India can do that, firstly, because of the nature of Indian cricket. You have matches all time round, important games, and also IPL bhi rehta. They play IPL. These guys, they sit out. They don't play Big Bash. They don't play IPL if they don't need to. So it's different. So they'll have to. I don't think India can do that. Don't know. I want Unadkat and pace Umesh just because Unadkat can swing it both ways, and Umesh is good in Asia conditions where ball reverse. Yeah, I think Umesh Yadav, from what I've seen in overseas conditions, he struggles to control his bowling. I remember in 2011-12 when they toured Australia, वहाँ पे उन्हें wides, no balls, क्या की डालते रहता. He was struggling to control the ball, and that could be an issue. Man, Bhuvi would have been sexy on this tour. Oh my God, Bhuvneshwar Kumar. That would have been good. Maybe I'd have taken him over Umesh or Unadkat. But yeah, Unadkat, look, he brings a different angle. He's done really well domestically. He's picked up a lot of wickets. Yes, his pace is not on that level that you want ideally, but he could have that accuracy, and he can bat as well. So he's not a bad shout. Like if you go with Unadkat Thakur, Unadkat Thakur, Siraj Shami, that's a good bowling attack, and it gives you some balance with the bat as well. Chadul can bat, Unadkat can bat as well. So mere hisab se, that's not a bad shout. I actually like that combination. Bumrah, I doubt will be the same after surgery. He might not be the same. It might take him some time, and then he can come back to the same. Like Archer is also going to take time, but he will get back to levels if he continues. But again, injured ho gaya, so yeah, he might not be the same, especially initially. Unadkat can bowl long spells also. Yeah, he can bowl long spells also. I think that's a good shout, man, to be very honest with you. If it is a bit of a green wicket, if it's not really helping spinners, it depends on how they read the pitch, man. If they feel that if they can play 4 fast bowlers, I would go with those 4. I think that Shardul gives you a different kind of, like, he can swing the ball a bit. Maybe he'll be your wicket taker, get smashed also. But then you have Unadkat, he brings in a different angle. And I think that Shami and Siraj versus Warner Khwaja, that's going to be a very key battle as well. We know that Warner, around the wicket has issues, whether it's Stuart Broad or whether it's Shami or Siraj. He does have issues around the wicket, and I think India will look to exploit that. Also, that trap, that leg side trap that they have for Smith and Labuschagne, that might be implemented in this World Test Championship. We saw that in that previous Australia tour. Rahane implemented it when he was captain for Smith and Labuschagne in particular. They had the leg slip, leg gully, if you may call it. They had like that protection over there, a catcher actually, more than a protection, that a catcher over there. So you will see some key strategies for certain players, and that could be, that could be very, very useful. Australia will have their plans also for the Indian players. Virat Kohli, it's Test cricket. Yes, one day T20, he's back in business now. Test cricket is his next thing where he needs to score, if he can have a big match. And that's the thing, right? Now it's a one-off test match, so that is a challenge also for both teams. एक मैच है, like India usually are slow starters. They start slow on a tour. एक दो match हारते, फिर they get into the zone and get into the rhythm. Now they have to be on ball one. You got to play your best cricket from ball one. It's a one-off test match. It's a final, and you got to give it your best. It's in a neutral venue. World Cup में भी आप जब final खेलते हैं, आप पूरा matches वो conditions में खेल के आप final पहुंचते हैं, right? यहाँ पे आप कहीं और खेल रहे थे, एकदम से आप आके फाइनल खेल रहे कहीं दूसरे थे. That's also a challenge. I know for me it's easy to criticize. We should have prepared better, this, that, everything. But like if I look at it more deep into it, it is actually a challenge, man. Like to play suddenly, like, you were in crowds of 100,000, this, that, वहाँ पे आप अलग क्रिकेट खेल रहे थे, एकदम से आप इंग्लैंड में आ रहे हैं and आप फाइनल खेल रहे हैं. It is a bit different. Has Umran played red ball cricket? I don't think he's played. He might have played a couple of Ranji Trophy games. I'm not sure, but उसको तो अभी नहीं लेके आ सकते. You have to give him time to groom and everything. I think, like I said, like I don't think his career is over or anything like that. It's just one bad season, but you have to groom Umran Malik, and I think he needs to get the right coaching, right rest also as a fast bowler. Maybe doesn't play. He has to maybe drop a format and then focus him on a particular format. That could also help. All middle order is back for one last time. Pujara, Virat, Rahane. Yeah, it might just be one last time. The old guard, and it's crazy that, like, damn, we're also I remember when Sachin, Dravid, Ganguly, Lakshman, when they were shifting, it was coming on to these guys, and now the shift, it's going to transition now to Pujara and Pant and Kishan and Apke a year, and these guys is going to transition now as well. So it's crazy. This might just be the last time these guys play together. Captaincy wise as well, Rohit Sharma is the captain. There will be pressure on him. First of all, I just hope he's fit and he'll be at the toss. Once he's fit, then we can take it from there. And there will be pressure on him. He will understand that, like, this is a very important game and his important year starts now. Yeah, whatever happened, the IPL, we put it to the side. Now this is the time. WTC and World Cup, Asia Cup as well. If it's happening, then that you can put it. This year is Rohit Sharma's year. It's probably his last year. As captain, I'm just assuming that there's just a rumor. Don't base it on anything, but this is his year and it starts right now. This is his biggest test, and then on to the Asia Cup, and then on to the World Cup. The main thing is he has to be fit. Then after that, his team selection needs to be right. India has screwed up team selection a lot away from home. He needs to get his team selection right in this game. Then he needs to get his combinations right. If you do get off to a flyer, if you get off to a flyer, if Shami and Siraj get you off to a flyer, how do you finish off the tail? That's where captaincy will come into it. What fields do you place? You continue to attack, how do you get your bowlers to finish off that tail? What plans do you set for those tail enders? That is going to be key, because, man, I don't want a situation which can happen where Australia 50 for 5, then Cameron Green and Pat Cummins put 100, 200 on partnership. I do not want that situation again. I'm tired of that BS, man. That's the worst thing ever. Every time it happens, and that is where of course the bowlers have to be involved with the captain. They've got to get plans for the thing. When you're lining up Smith, Labuschagne, that's all right. Like, you got to have plans for them, but then now India needs to make plans for the lower order as well, and you need to get them out quickly. You can't mess around like that. It has to be the thing. Future Test captain of India, KL Rahul. आगे जाके शुभमन गिल को भी दे सकते हैं अभी, मगर अब कौन है भाई? बुमराह था वाइस कैप्टन, अभी केएल राहुल, श्रेयस अय्यर, one of these guys. I don't know. When it comes closer, we'll see. But now it depends also what happens this year and everything. Who's in the team, who's not injured, who's fit. That's also good. But from the current 11, पूरे तो पुराने ही हैं. आप किसको बनाएंगे? रहाने, पुजारा, विराट कोहली. Shubman Gill is too young right now. Otherwise, he's your only option. Still no left-hander. Yeah, Rishabh Pant could be a future captain, but again, he's not fit, right? Otherwise, he would have probably taken the captaincy from Rohit Sharma. Still no left-hander. We always struggle. Still don't invest in it. I mean, Ishan, you're talking about bowler or batter? I mean, Ishan Kishan is an option, and there is some word spreading he might play. I don't know. I would have gone with KS Bharat just because I think keeping is going to be crucial over there, and Bharat is known for his keeping. But I don't know. They might take the risk and go with Ishan Kishan. Already has a bond with Rohit Sharma. They might want a Rishabh Pant type player. Yes, Ishan Kishan is not proven in red ball cricket. That's a gamble they might have to take, considering the circumstances that they don't have Pant available. They might have to take a gamble if Ishan Kishan is the gamble, then so be it. So yeah, because of course it does help in terms of left-hander in the squad, but I don't know, Ishan Kishan will be able to play at that level or not. Give 2 years captaincy to Virat and Test, he will groom Gill or Rishabh Pant. I think that's what he was doing already. He was grooming Rishabh Pant. And he was going to be his heir, it looked like to me. But it's also injuries are playing a huge part in Indian cricket. Jasprit Bumrah was also being groomed as a captain. He would have probably be the vice captain in this tour or whatever, but he's been injured. So that is another key thing that you have to look at, कि भाई fit है नहीं है आपके player, तो आप fit player को ही बना सकते हैं captain. Batsman in top 5 of WTC. Rohit Sharma, Gill, Virat Kohli, Rahane, Pujara. Yeah, they're all right-handers. Whereas Australia have Warner, Khwaja, that's 2 lefties. Then they got Smith and Labuschagne, 2 righties. Then Travis Head, 5 lefty. Yeah, that's a good combination. Left hand, right hand. Ishan Kishan को बैटिंग करा दो, फिर आंख पे मार के भरत को कीप कर सकते हैं, आई डोंट नो, देखना पड़ेगा, मगर मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है कि भाई ईशान किशन कोई बनाएंगे कीपर ये मैच नहीं, मतलब सुने में आ रहा, आई डोंट नो क्या होने वाला है, बट दे माइट जस्ट लीन टुवर्ड्स हिम, ऑल्दो मेरे हिसाब से केएस भरत को ही करना पड़ेगा. Let me know, guys, any last questions, thoughts, or whatever. How did you enjoy the IPL? Anything you wanted to discuss? Anything else you want to discuss tomorrow? Me and Fez will bring you some analysis for the squads for the WTC. Our attention will shift there. Already up ये शो भी लास्ट 20-30% तो वही कर रहे थे हम लोग, मगर आई जस्ट थॉट कि आईपीएल का थोड़ा सा रिव्यू कर लेंगे. एवरीबॉडी वाज प्रोबेबली अ बिट down after no match today or anything like that, so I thought we'll do a show, just discuss a bit of the IPL, which we did yesterday in depth also, but it's always good to chat. Do you think Chahar, if fully fit, would have been a good option in these conditions? Like last time he was fully fit, he toured with India. He could, but I haven't seen him play enough red ball cricket. I think Bhuvi would have been perfect in these conditions. One last time, give it to Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Unfortunately, whenever India toured England or South Africa or this was, Bhuvi used to get injured after the first or second test. But I think he would have exploited these conditions to perfection. One last time, give him a go, because Bumrah's not there. If Bumrah's there, then you're not thinking about anything. But I would have probably gone Bhuvneshwar even over Ishan Sharma. And I'm not just saying that because he plays for Sunrisers. I genuinely feel that Bhuvneshwar Kumar could be a great bowler in English conditions, man. He swings the ball both ways. He'll get that extra swing in England. During that SA tour, VK and Dravid were keen to hand in a test debut. You're talking about who? Sorry, Ibrahim bhai, Deepak Chahar. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, again, injuries. Maybe that's why he didn't play Test cricket. Whenever he was getting the opportunity, kuch na kuch ho gaya uske saath. I think again, what he's 31, 30. Like you could try him, but you still have to look to the future. He could have been good maybe in these conditions, but Deepak Chahar as the England mein shayad haan theek hai, but in Australia and maybe even in South Africa, I don't know if I would go with them. Party bus 9:30. Oh, Fanta. Please bring back Bhuvi in test matches. Yeah, man. I completely agree with that. I think the उन्हें जो अंदर लेके आता बॉल, बाहर जो भी लेके जाता बॉल, जबरदस्त करता भुवनेश्वर कुमार. और ये कंडीशंस में तो बेहतरीन यूज कर सकते हैं उसको. खाली फिटनेस का ही प्रॉब्लम है उस. And yes, now he's getting a bit older. That is also there. But if he was fully fit, man, I would take Bhuvi for this game. The last dance बोल के लेके चला ना उसको, and he would trouble Australia, bro. I think I would love to see that kind of thing, because if you see the Indian bowlers, थोड़ा सा issue है वो swing का, like कौन है, I would like Siraj Shami, the seam bowlers hit the deck kind of bowling off the pitch movement. They do really well. Like in Australia, we saw that problem a bit in South Africa as well, where we were defending good scores of 260, 270 on tough pitches, but the bowling looked like very monotonous, just one line, one length, same type of bowling, all three, Bumrah, Shami and Siraj. Whereas if you get like a swing bowler in some certain overseas matches, it brings a different factor in, and it gives the batsman to think about something else also. And that's why I feel that India need a bit more variety in that attack. Yes, you do have like amazing bowlers, but in Shami and Siraj, Bumrah, but you have got to have some variety, so that like it doesn't look like it's the same kind of bowling lineup. Or you get a different angle in, like a left-handed bowler. That's another option that you could have. That pretty much wraps it up. I think, it was a long IPL. It was a good IPL. Enjoyed it. Probably for me personally, it was not the best one, but I still had fun. I experienced some live matches also. I think the whole journey with you guys was made it worth it. Like the actual matches itself, there's a few amazing ones, but I think with you guys sharing our journey and everything, doing the reels, this, that, live shows, I enjoyed that the most. That was a lot of fun. Sometimes it was more entertaining than the cricket itself, but it was a good 2-month grind. Now it's all about international cricket. It's all about Test cricket. So we will shift our attention from tomorrow to that, and we will start discussing Team India, Team Australia, and the cricket never stops, man. We'll always have cricket. So do join us. Fez and me will be with you tomorrow. Also, do check out our Instagram, Twitter, and stuff. We do put shorts and different reels and stuff. So hope you can like and share that as well during that essay tour. Yeah, sorry, I took that. So yeah, do join us. Tomorrow as well, but also on social media, like and share, and subscribe to us on YouTube. We really appreciate everybody's help. We'll try to get you a lot of WTC content. If you have any ideas, आप लोग comment section में डाल दो. वो YouTube पे नीचे जहाँ वीडियो के नीचे जो comments है तो वहाँ पे डाल दो आप जो भी ideas है. हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे implement करने के लिए. We'll be live with you guys for the build up and throughout the test match. It's a one-off, so we will be excited and we'll do our best. If you have any ideas, we will have like key battles and everything to look at. And but if there's anything else you wanted to discuss, do let us know. Thank you so much. It was a good hour and a bit with you guys. Really appreciate it. Kal milenge hopefully. And yeah, take care everybody. Have a good rest of the evening. Good night, good evening, good day. Oh, Vinay came back. Will Sky and Ishan play like Ponting suggested? I think Ishan might play, bro. Vinay came back. Vinay came back. I think Ishan might play. Sky, I'm not sure. I don't know if Sky. I think Rahane will play. So I don't think Sky will play. Even the Ponting suggested that. कल बात करेंगे उसके बारे में. विनय, सब लोग ख्याल रखो अपना and like और subscribe करो. And बहुत enjoy करा मैं आज भी. And see you guys tomorrow. Good night.